Warning: what you are about to hear goes against traditional romantic counsel expressed by friends, family, and Instagram memes and quotes. Open-mindedness is advised.
We've been gone so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby. Ooh.
Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. And sincerest apologies, first things first, for the very late start, but we are having some technical difficulties as it pertains to Facebook. I have not changed any settings or anything like that from last week, from any of the other times. What's happening is we going into Facebook, we starting the stream, and for whatever reason, as soon as you hit go live, it cutting down. So you know what? We can do the YouTube thing. Shout out Kevin. Kevin is here. We can share it on YouTube. I hope we can get everybody to follow us as we are tonight on YouTube. But anyhow, everybody, good night, everybody. Good night, everybody. Good night, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Senate Podcast. I'm your host, Neil Hoyt. He is your host, Derek Marshall, and together we make the Senate. Wait. I am severely confused. No, because I've seen people. I seen people from Facebook. I beat bad here, there. I beat bad.
Ain't know the table now.
Listen, those who watching the stream, right? Let us know what you're watching on. They say we on. Thanks, Victoria. We on Facebook, but I am looking
Really?
at, and I am looking at the stream, literally looking at the stream, and I'm seeing a video popping up saying, "Sorry, we are having problems playing playing this video."
You don't want us to be great, man. That's all it is.
So I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't know if so normally what happens is when I do the Facebook, I can see the stream going on Facebook as well as on YouTube. And there's a little pop-up window and everything like that. I can see everything, control everything. And I'm literally looking at the preview for the stream on Facebook and they're saying, sorry, we're having trouble with playing this video. Learn more.
Well, at this juncture, I don't think we can stick it any further.
Mala, yeah, we can John Brathwaite. Thank you so much for y'all people that are here. I got a lot of people. Again, sincerest apologies for the technical difficulties. It's try to be early, it's try to do things properly, and it's still thing. But anyhow, we're here, we're live. Derek Marshall.
Yes, sir.
Talk to me sexy, my brother.
Boy, here, man, what's going on?
I hear too, just a little flustered and frustrated because, I know things happen, man, and whatever, but I still feel as though,
Well, I used to sing with some old man that would tell you when a man has done his best, only the angels could do more. So,
very well.
you keep that in mind.
Right.
It's nothing deliberate, guys. We really try to be early.
Yeah.
We operate on that. Unfortunately, we don't always get it right, but
we're here
tonight.
We're here.
Are we ready to go? We'll work out what's going on at some point.
All right. So, Derek, well, because we still got to share the stream and stuff like that. It's to tell me it working, I can share it. All right.
Yeah, man. I here doing the same thing right now.
Right. So,
which is why it may look a little distracted, but I'm still multitasking, if you want to call it that.
Right. So everyone, I hope everyone is well. You can let me know. Shout out to Victoria Graves. She had a birthday yesterday. Yeah, I try. If y'all have a birthday too, y'all can let us know any birthday shenanigans y'all getting up to or y'all have going on. Y'all can let us know. Let us know. And we can shout y'all out. Why not? So Derek, you plugged G-Syndicate yet? No, you didn't plug G-Syndicate yet. She's on.
It's been a rocky road. It's been a rocky road so far. But yeah, G-Syndicate, as always, G-Syndicate 6 on everything. That's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. You can check us out for anything music related. With the guys, I was in studio today. I had a marathon session today. I was literally in the booth for 2 hours just recording some parts for the next project. So yeah, man, I feel pretty good with that. That was an achievement for me. I don't think I've ever been recording for that length of time on my own. But I just put down some parts. The other guys were coming and filling the other parts so that we kind of expedite the process, get through a little bit more quickly, and we can get the music done so that then we can get it out, which is what you really want. At some point, you want the music to be out, people to hear it. So yeah, that was my process today. I spent about 2 hours, as I said, in the booth, just making sure those parts. I got to record each part 6 times.
Jeez.
So
that's not ad-libs and thing.
So yeah,
I love it.
it was a bit of a task. I'm not finished. Got to go back and do some other things, but I think I laid most of the groundwork for it. So I'm pretty proud about that. So now to get the other guys in there to finish up their stuff. Shout out the other guys: Kiyoma, Waden, Mark, Brett, and Antonio. Shout out Antonio. Got some back pain. He getting old even though he's young.
Yeah, Antonio, boy, that's happened to you.
He's struggling with some back pain, but I suppose he'll get over it eventually. The only hope I pray for him.
He has called our life in the tropics there, Mark.
Yeah, man. So yeah, man.
Yeah.
I had a little run this evening, get a little scrimmage, so
I couldn't even get there. How it was?
Yeah. Man, I get beat, but no life goes. It's a life in the tropics.
Yeah. I see God is in control, Kevin. Shout out Kevin saying let go of the wheel. You're right. Could only do so much. Gremlins gone. I literally can't. So no, I just let y'all know the Facebook stream. Y'all gotta tell me if it ever drop out, drop down. Y'all gotta tell me because right now I can't see anything on the Facebook stream. As far as it concerned, it kaput. But we press on. No. This gonna take a lot. What I can do is I can set the table here for you, Derek. So tonight, what we're talking about. Normally, before every episode, Thursday and Tuesday, I can't even tell how many people in the stream. You know what? I don't care. Well, not that I don't care, but I can't do anything about it. Right. So before every episode, Tuesday and Thursday, what happened is my man Derek would put up a topic we would talk about. But this is a particularly interesting scenario that's happening right now. First things first, a lot of people are questioning what is this Fresh and Fit scenario. So Fresh and Fit, they're in the manosphere. For those of you who don't know about the manosphere or the Red Pill Life or RP Life, that is a section of YouTube of content creators that are essentially speaking out and creating spaces for men to empower men, to talk about men's issues, to guide women according to what men think, how men feel, what is important to men, etc. We give advice to men primarily, but women are welcome, and we do dispense advice to women. And in that space, there are several different content creators. We are very small fish in this pond. There are obviously bigger fish. Kevin Samuels for one, Portia Duke Jackson that Derek knows. There is Abba and Preach. They more do review of other videos, but they're also, I would consider them in the space. And then, of course, we have Fresh and Fit. Now, Fresh and Fit comprises of 2 men. Fresh, who is a Barbadian, and Fit, who is a guy that's into fitness and everything like that. But they started this podcast, they go forward, and they have their space. Now, hard or soft, their content is sometimes controversial. Some people say it's kind of softball, manosphere talk. Some people don't take it seriously. Other people claim it has changed their lives, other men. Regardless of how you feel about it, Abba and Preach, who is another set of content creators there, exposed Fresh and Fit by calling into question some of their practices, not living by their lifestyle, etc. We're not getting into the gossip. It just gets set in the background. And for the last week, they've had a back and forth. Now, I'm not going to go into details with the Fresh and Fit scenario, the situation, the beef and back and forth, and he said, she said, and DMs and all that. We're not doing that. But just know that these guys, Fresh and Fit, are young guys. I don't think they're 30 yet. and they're kind of purporting this alpha male, high value man persona. They, have a lot of jewelry, a lot of, Fresh. He is the guy that's very flashy, has jewelry, watches, cars, etc. Fit is more reserved, but he's, like a pickup artist, pickup women, that sort of thing. And they sell courses and stuff like that. People are saying that, they scam people or whatever. Whatever you believe, I don't know. I just saying we don't know if they scam people or not. We have never tried out anything from them. We've watched some of their content and we've decided that by and large, for what we do in the manosphere and what we want to adhere to and our principles, they don't align with us. Some of their content does, but not most. We don't generally watch it. I was subscribed to them only because I was supporting people in the manosphere, but I don't know. So, but what we found particularly interesting coming out of this, and there was what's her name? Sha'Carri Richardson.
Mhm.
Richards, right?
Richardson.
Richardson, sorry. She would have obviously ran a bunch of talk over the last few months. She had some personal tragedy in her life, lost her mother. She was banned from the Olympics for misuse of a drug. And she, was wearing a bunch of talk. Come to find out, the other day she had a 100 meter to get washed off. It was the Diamond, what was the event? Diamond International, something like that. Anyway, she got washed off. She can't last, dead last. And she's getting roasted on Twitter. And people are, on social media, and people are coming to her defense saying that you shouldn't really talk bad about black women. She's only human and, rate. No. Derek and I thought about it, and we said we wanted to cover this. And the funny thing about it is we talked today about which angle we were going to cover it from, and we were on the same page. Matt showed me his notes, and it was funny because I kind of wanted to go from the same space. And this is a very good time for us to talk about what we think. And this show is going to be primarily for men, right? And what they should be looking for and do. I mean, women can take from it what they wish. There is something in there for women as well. It's not exclusive to men, but we are primarily talking to men. So, what does it mean to be a man? I feel that's a good place to start. And what I would do there is I would pose that question to you. Because what I think is important is that we define certain terms as we see it. What's a man and what is a high value man? And we kind of move from there. Claire Best, shout out Jimmy Alexander, Jennifer Young, Natalia. Everybody has joined the chat. Thank you. We had a false start, several false starts. We cranking with gas. I can't tell you how many people watching, so we can just ring it. Derek, before we get into everything, I'm gonna ask you, my man, my friend, my brother, how do you see a man? What is a man to you?
In my younger days, it would have meant something very different. These days, I see it as one of the basic principles I think you should look at would be doing what you're supposed to do and being where you're supposed to be. I think that those are two of the most critical aspects of being a man. And being integrous in your actions.
Integrous. I was trying to think of that word today. Could not think of it.
Sure. Yeah. Those are the things that are critical. Let me consult my own notes so that I don't speak, outside of what I want to say. But before I go any further, guys, for those of you who are actually here with us tonight, we are celebrating. This is our 50th.
Oh yeah.
Our 50th show.
That's probably where the gremlins come out.
Yeah, they don't want us to be great for 50, but
50 episodes, Derek.
We've made it. Let's raise the bat. So show up 50.
Yep.
Hopefully, there are more to come, right?
Yep. Only beginning.
So here's the 50 and another 50 to come.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, for me, Neil, and those of you in attendance, integrity and discipline I find are critical, right? And I would have sent you some screenshots, and I think this is an appropriate time to put them on screen so people can see exactly what it is we're talking about, because I saw some people were unclear as to why we will be addressing the whole fresh and fit thing, why we will be talking about this, and kind of finding the parallels between fresh and fit and Sha'Carri Richardson.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I can handle that now. Just give me a minute, because with all the
right,
madness going on, I was focused more getting the
yeah,
stream up than anything
that's
else.
fine. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I just need to give you a little bit of background information. Fresh and Fit, there are podcasters within the manosphere. Misha Edwards says I like that definition, Derek, but what you mean about your younger days, you're still young. Congratulations on the show 50. Thank you so much. See the congrats coming in from Jennifer, Victoria, and Tara. Thank you guys.
Yeah, man. We look good for 50. We look good for 50.
We appreciate it. And they, needless to say, they're proponents of the high value lifestyle. When we hear high value lifestyle these days, or high value man, there are certain tenets that are wrapped up in the high value man description. The first of all is money. You can't be high value and homeless, according to another podcaster. So when you think high value man, you're thinking amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, they're talking $100,000 annually, right? Mm-hmm. That's one. You are known as a high value man at LinkedIn level, they say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, YouTube is where it's at, Fergie. Good to see you here.
Which is weird, yes. You see? Anyhow, yeah. This is what it is.
So you're recognized as a high value man at LinkedIn level. So people can go on LinkedIn, and you're not just an entrepreneur or a businessman, but you are a lawyer, doctor, lawyer, bank manager, as Mad would have said back in the day, right? Yes, Victoria, no homosexuals allowed, right? So your money comes through legal means, right? So the challenge you have, and then of course you provide your value to your group, your network of high value men, right? So that's just a little bit of background into the whole high value thing, right?
Yeah.
And they are very big on that. They're, as you would have said, Neil, they're very flashy in terms of the stuff they flash around. A lot of money, not money, but a lot of material stuff. So yeah. Cars, nice apartment, that kind of thing. Always with a lot of women, that kind of thing.
That's women and everything.
Yeah, that's Fresh and Fit. They push that, right?
Right. Before I put on the graphics, I want to give what my opinion is of a man. By and large, I agree with Derek. I think a man is someone that he deals in integrity. He deals in responsibility, accountability. He deals with his responsibilities. He deals with what is right or wrong based on his moral compass and code. He has the power, yes, to do bad, do good, do all sorts of things, take advantage, but he doesn't. He does not do it. Many times on this show, we talk about having options as men, as particularly when it comes to marriage and dating and stuff like that. Because we say we have options, it does not mean we're going to exercise them. You understand? Or not exercise them within the proper timeline, or making sure certain things have been taken care of. Right? I think a man is not a man that is defined based on how many women he has slept with, how many cars he has, how many vehicles he has, how much money he has. A man is, by and large, a man that stands on his principles and is unshakable in that. He is not guided by emotion, or he tries his best not to be, but generally he is not guided by emotion. He would respond, react, but he is not making decisions based on emotion primarily. And he does what is best in the best interest of for him and who is surrounding him. Right?
Yeah, I find it interesting you say you respond to react. Another podcaster said I found it interesting the terms you use, because another podcaster that I listened to, shout out Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, and he said, men respond, boys react, right? And I found that particularly interesting. And all the stuff you said, Neil, about your integrity and all that, I think those are critical things for a man to have.
Mm-hmm.
Those should be things that underpin his daily life
Mm-hmm.
in terms of his operation, how he deals with his people in his circle and stuff like that. Anton was making the point, Kwame was making the point, LinkedIn level means that you're on that level that people on a LinkedIn level can look and see where, yeah, he is so and so on in terms of the network,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I found it interesting. I was kind of laughing to myself when you were describing certain things because I watch these guys, and yes, YouTubers make some good money. Well, some we are not in that bracket yet.
Mm-hmm. We ain't there yet, but we can get there for sure.
Those of you who would love to see your boys making some money, hook us up. Send a link to your friends and that kind of thing. Get them to subscribe and watch your videos and all that. We greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, not across the Derek, but what I will do is I will put the YouTube link in the chat here, so that if anyone having problems with the Facebook situation, will shoot. Oh, okay. I was saying it wouldn't even let me post a comment. But yeah, if anybody is having problems with the Facebook feed, you could join us on YouTube. We gotta talk about some things going forward, because we're realizing that anytime we have these issues, it's usually Facebook that giving us the issues. So we can deal with that going forward. But just click on the link. Anybody that's having problems with the Facebook link, join us on YouTube. I hope everybody has a YouTube account, Gmail account, wherever, and you can still chat and everything like that. But no chatterbox. Oh, the chatterbox isn't. Honestly, Dion, shout out Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how to get this thing fixed, but we press on. Yeah, Derek, sorry about that.
Yeah. So I think this would be a good place to start and provide a little bit of backstory of what went on with him. Abba and Preach, as you would have said, two other content creators on YouTube, they questioned some of their talking points. And the whole topic, ladies and gents, was about men endorsing the purchasing of female company. Let me put it that way.
Buying box.
Yeah,
I find that so funny. A phrase.
Yeah, paying for box. They call it, right?
Every time I laugh at that.
Yeah, I found it as vapid as it gets. But
yep. Yeah.
So the Fresh Fit guys were saying, hey, real men don't pay for box. The Abba and Preach guys were like, well, yeah, when you get to a certain level, you pay for discretion, essentially. So you pay your money, and you understand that when they pay this money, there's a certain level of discretion that comes along with it, and my business will not be in the street. So, for example, Heidi Fleiss, back in the day, she went to prison. She went to prison because she refused to give up the names of her clientele. So,
and there's also too, Derek, not to cross you, but there's also if you are a high value man, we talked about a man, we can eventually talk about high value man. You making upward of, you're a millionaire, you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars when the year comes or more. You literally don't have time. You're running businesses, you're doing whatever you're doing. You may not have the time to date. You may not have the time to get to know someone. You're always on a plane traveling. You're always networking. You're always trying to build your brand, your business, your empire. You don't have time for the nitty gritty and minutia of courting and dating and stuff like that. So we can agree to if it is right or wrong, if it's morally right or wrong. But to be fair, we can understand why a man would do it. We will not look down on a man that says, you know what? I own my G5. I want a little company. Let me not necessarily hire a woman, but let's say I promise a woman, I can take care of you financially. Here, come for a trip, but it'll come with certain favors. It may not be outright escort, but yeah.
Yeah, but it's a business, and apparently at that level, the when you get into that, the girls actually are the people doing the vetting, so they make sure that you are cool to roll with, right? Don't ask me. I don't know anything about that lifestyle. Apparently, that's how it goes. I don't make that kind of money, so I don't know, right?
Right, right.
Um, Apparently, there's Richelle in the place. I don't know who Richelle is, but good night to you, Richelle, right?
Shout out Rochelle, man.
Right. So the Fresh and Fit guy said, "Nah, we real men don't pay for it. Only simps pay, etc. Real men don't pay for box. Blah blah blah. Real men get women on their game, and that alone was a little dicey for me because I found it so vapid that two grown men essentially would be placing so much stock in getting women, right?
And not only getting women to dirt, because it is the caliber of women with which they get, which we find to be also valid.
Yeah, because they bring the girls on the show. There's an after-hour show. They bring the girls on the show, and interestingly enough, a few months ago, a friend of ours messaged me to ask me about the same Fresh and Fit, and I told him, I don't find them to be particularly my cup of tea because the whole putting the girls out of the room. If you want to have a discussion, but don't invite the girls into the room to have a discussion, and then on the slightest thing, you put them out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you don't tolerate disrespect. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Don't tolerate disrespect, but at the end of the day, still, we found that there are kind of other ways to kind of control a situation instead of, because you gotta understand, right? For those of you that don't know. They usually bring in the girls, whoever brings them in. I don't know, if it's them or if they have someone handling the girls or whatever. But sometimes they meet them out and about. They're drunk, they're high. They sometimes may not know what they're talking about, what the topic is going to be about. How dare and I see it is like softball. It is like, you setting up monsters to slay to make yourself look a bit more alpha, which is a term I hate. Yeah. So,
well, some backstory to that too. There were some guys who would actually get the girls for them when they come. They're played with drinks. Yeah. So, you're getting girls who are not, these girls ain't exactly walking into Harvard or Yale.
Yeah.
And then you play them with drinks and,
Yeah, softball, man. Softball.
Where can the conversation really go?
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Yeah.
So that was that. And coming out to the Abba and Preach, calling them out for that, they responded and started talking about their viewer counts and their subscriber counts and making the comparison and essentially saying, we better than y'all, blah, blah, blah. And it ended up being a beef. They spoke about Preach's wife. One guy called her a beluga whale. And then they even went as far as to threaten the next guy, threaten Preach to or invite him to do a boxing match. Unbeknownst to them, this guy was actually a legit boxer at some point or a bouncer at a club or something like that. So he's also Haitian. So he has a little bit of, he's raised from different stock, right? And
he's more mature too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, he's 40 years old, more mature man and stuff like that. Spilling out of that now, we get some receipts coming out now because this is one thing we need to recognize. First point for the night, guys. When it rains, it pours, right? So when you see you put yourself in a crisis situation or a situation where people can have something to say about you, everybody will have something to say about. So, for example, at Bill Cosby, we are in the height of the, I also movement, right? So one person says something, he did this to me, and next person, well, he did it to me too, and he did it to me too, and all of a sudden now, receipts and the screenshots are undefeated. So remember, guys, these are two gentlemen who purport to be high value men. They are men who, as I said, they don't pay for box. They get girls on their own steam, on their own efforts, on their own merit. They don't do that stuff. So we can go into some screenshots right, Neil. If you could load them up.
Yeah.
And this is the exchange between Fresh, Fit, Myron Gaines, he's Sudanese, and a lady by the name of Anna Quinn. She's a fitness person. She's into personal training and stuff like that. This is the exchange between them. Right?
Yeah, we all know.
Okay, cool. Just give me a couple of seconds for it to come up. And it must be, let me point out while this is coming up on my screen, that he has sent, if you notice, he sent the message 8:22 in the morning, and she responded at 5:30 in the evening. Why? When he sent the message, she went and she asked a friend about him. Or a matter of fact, a friend of hers said to her, well, yeah, my friend is trying to reach out to you to do something, right? You should really give him a shout out, because he has a big channel on YouTube, really doing some good stuff, has quite a following. It would be an opportunity for her to get her stuff up there. So she was like, okay. He says, we should do a collab. She says, hey, sure, what you got in mind? Little smiley face. He asks, interested in a YouTube collab in Miami? To which she says, sure, I'm not sure when I'm going to be in Miami, but I can definitely let you know next time I am out there. So everything is all good in the hood so far, right? All good in the hood so far. We crack on, right? And she asked if she should plan for next week. And he says it would have to be next week if we did it. She asked, would early next week work, like Monday or Tuesday? He responds and says that would be tough. You didn't answer the relationship questions. I actually think I missed something at the end of the last message. He asked her if she was married or single. She didn't answer that part. She just asked about doing the collab. To which she says, when he said that she didn't answer the relationship questions, he said, I'm so sorry. That message didn't load until just now for some reason. I am single. I am actually not dating anyone either right now. I dated someone for a couple of months last year, and before that, I was single for about 2 years, but I love that topic. Let me pause right here, because at this juncture, I'm cool with it so far, right? Because he does a relationship show. He's into fitness, she's into fitness. So I get the collaboration of it. And then I also get the questions about the relationship status, because he talks about relationships on his show. It's above board for me. Just give me the one before, Neil, because you got something that's critical on the screen, on the slide before. So Brest put that back on the screen for me so they can read the bottom part of this, because this goes left at Albuquerque real fast, and I don't want us to miss anything in the interaction. Good. So she says she loves the topic. She's single, and my man says, all right, cool. I'm upfront that I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. No. Let me read that again. Right? I'm upfront that I'm not going to do anything platonic with you, just being honest. The challenge with this, Mr. Gaines, is that you approached the lady about a collab. You asked her to do a collab with you. So she, probably like us, the rest of us, is like, I'm confused. I'm not trying to do anything with you except collab. Because you reached out saying, hey, we should do a collab. You didn't reach out and say, hey, we should link for a date, for drinks, for a hookup, a fling. None of that stuff. You said, we should get together and do a collab. So that is what she is thinking it is. I don't know if I'm reading it wrong. You guys can let me know.
Well, it's interesting, Derek, because today, let me just say first things first. Today they would have had a live stream. Well, not today, last night. Sorry, they would have had a live stream where they spoke about all of this. and they try to give some context to it. And to be fair, he does say he was shooting his shot. He did ask about the relationship status because for two reasons. One, he wanted to shoot his shot, as well as he wanted to know, kind of tailor the topic or see where she would fit in terms of the topic and everything like that, which is fine. My man shoot his shot. I mean, I personally, and we can get to that because this is the difference between a man, high value man, and somebody that's not very aware of something. Because if this is business, you're keeping it business. You gotta understand, there's a woman you have never had any relation with, any contact with before. You're meeting through a mutual friend. I believe that could have been handled in a further scenario. You don't just, you're trying to organize a hammer a collab, and so
So for me, that's my big issue, right? And it's one of my talking points. I really want to say integrity and discipline are critical, right, guys? He used his business to initiate contact with the lady Anna Quinn, right? And then after she was willing, she essentially agreed to doing a work-related collab with him.
Mm-hmm.
He immediately flipped to something sexual. He said up front, he is not doing anything platonic with her. He's not interested in that, right? If that was the case, why not message the woman and say, "Hey, wait, let's go for drinks. Let's do lunch."
Shoot,
Like,
he could have.
You ain't even about that. Let's get together and do whatever.
The woman could
leave your work out of it.
That's what he's saying. But watch, Derek, I would even go a step further because I reach out to somebody. I reach out to, I don't know, who? Faith Calendar. We reach out to Faith Calendar. We want to do a collab with her. We want to speak on something that we believe she would be perfect for, right? We can help both of our brands or whatever. I am interested in Faith Calendar. I am not going to reach out to Faith and in the organization of the collab, I'm going to hit on her and say, yeah, I'm about name platonic. If we're doing this, it got to be more, whatever. To me, how I would do it, how I would approach it, I would engage Faith. Yeah, we want to do a collab. We do a collab. I kind of see and feel the vibe or whatever. And after the collab, I would ask her, would you mind going out for a drink or whatever? I really, whatever. Yeah. But the point is,
because you've established some kind of rapport, some kind of relationship through the actual work of the collab, right? So now I can say I know you a little bit, you know me a little bit. It's way more comfortable than just some random dude just saying, "Hey, you want to give me a little bit or to get on my show."
Yeah. Victoria is making a very good point here. I find also that people use honesty as a facade for being a complete jerk, and I really want to.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that.
Right, I want hold on to that because we live in an era where keeping it a butt or keeping it 100 or being real is a thing. We can be honest.
Keeping it real goes wrong.
Right, keeping it real goes wrong, but we can be honest to a point of not caring about tact or caring about a person's feelings or whatever. Right, so honesty. Being upfront is saying, yeah, gal, I like you, I want you, what gonna happen? If you want to get put, you know what I mean? I still feel as though you need some sort of tactic, you need some type of a game, and which is funny because I don't think of myself as having game. I don't think Derek think he has game as well. But we are genuine. We understand time and place. We understand we read the room, so to speak. We ain't just up and tell a woman, I see a woman in the chat here tonight. I see, let's say Dion. I said, Dion, I talking to you and I say, look, Dion, when you down, holler at me, slide in my DMs, man. Cause I got saying for you for a long time. Like, that is not professional. Oh. That is something you just don't do. Or like, we had Dion on the show a few months back. We said, Dion, we want you on the show. But if you want to come to the show,
sure.
We got.
And that's the thing, Neil. He approached her. She didn't exactly come to him and say, "Hey, I want to get on your show."
Exactly.
He approached her.
Not saying that it would be any better or worse, but if the woman had said, "I really want to get on you with this or that. And the next, you could be like, okay, yeah, it's a scummy move, but being honest and being upfront with your intentions in that regard, you not in 2021, and that's the thing. Derek and I talked about this behind the scenes. We could not believe in 2021 that a man is leveraging his platform to hit on women. Like,
And here's the thing about that, Neil, right? When you say he's leveraging his platform, we spoke about this last week, right? In terms of you have to protect, or last week, or I think probably 2 weeks before, when we talked about PJ Washington, you have to protect your investment and the fruits of your labor. It makes no sense, right? Going and building yourself up through your own hard work and graft and effort, and you putting all that stuff, he has built a platform with 430 something thousand subscribers.
A fastest growing channel on YouTube.
Yeah, they had a precipitous fall over the past week. So now they're under 390. And you build all that up, you're getting paid, you're making your money, and then you decide, you know what? Let me just throw this all away for some ass. And that makes zero sense to me.
But it's not even just
go ahead. Let me just see if it could tie that in with our girl Sha'Carri, right? Because you've done all the hard work. You qualified for the Olympics and everything. You can't put down some weed?
But hold on. So this is what I would say about the Olympics, right? This is what I would say about these competitions. Now, I am very confused by some of the banned substances and you getting caught. I know there are obviously certain things that you don't use. Weed, don't smoke weed. Put down the weed, right? But my whole thing is that you don't know when you may have thought, I got time, or they ain't gonna be in my system and it come or whatever, and they may spot check you or whatever, right? But as Derek rightly said, and this is why I said what a man is, and we could tie this into what an adult is, right? Derek speaks every week about being on your purpose. Every week, Derek somehow, some way, some form or fashion alludes to sticking to your purpose. What is your purpose? Your purpose is, in her case, an athlete. At the highest level, don't let me sugarcoat it. The woman, however you feel about Sha'Carri, however, the woman is one of the top fastest women in the world. Therefore, she should be disciplined enough, and this is what Derek was talking about, discipline. You should be disciplined enough to know, all right, then got to be even done my career though. You understand? But right now it is about performing at the highest level and giving my chance the opportunity to validate my hard work. Seeing him with Fresh and Fit, like, whether I see Ray, I don't know, Ray, you saying to the followers tonight, don't waste time with Fresh and Fit there. They're jokers or whatever. I ain't getting into all of that. I would say for anybody, if you watch, you can make your decision. I ain't gonna tell nobody, I ain't gonna influence nobody on how to watch or what. Some people do have success watching them. Some men have seen results. I am trying to sling mud, but no man getting money, right? If that is what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I am saying the people that are men, the men that are men, the people that are adults that watch that content will discern for themselves if it's content for them or not, right? If it speaks to what you both or what you want. What I am saying is Fresh and Fit they have a podcast. The podcast is widely popular, very successful, the number one dating platform on YouTube within the last 10 months to a year. And I always, for years I used to be talking to the men about this, Derek, especially we've always got dreams to as soon as they get $1 million, $1 billion. Even last night I was at dinner, $100 billion or whatever, right? You think at $100 billion, we on this platform now. Let's say a year from now, this platform takes off. We are making tens of thousands of dollars every month. We are seen by millions of people every month, etc. Do you think I would now say, boy, this is time now to while out? And I know some people can say, they're young men and we are more seasoned and everything like that, but it does not matter the age. Because if your purpose is to catch a whale, a whale, you have to be prepared for when you catch that whale. You can't no catch that whale and then not know what to do and freak out. Therefore, if you attain a level of success and everything that comes with that level of success, hard or soft, haters, non-haters, women, cars, everything like that, there's a level of discretion. Biggie has a song called More Money, More Problems. Of course, if we start to make tens of thousands of dollars, and it is widely known that we have one of the top podcasts on YouTube and we're making money, people are going to know, but that man got money. You know, if I flossing boat with a big chain, big rings, I driving boat a Range Rover, right? I can afford these things now, right? I am inviting people to come and say, oh, he got it like that. He feel he better than we. And they like, you know, hitting on women willy-nilly and feel like he could do whatever. There's a consequence for your actions. Spider-Man, I don't know who comic book people, but, you know, with power comes responsibility, right? You gotta know, you have to know you have the power, and you have to be disciplined enough to know to let that power just breeze. Like, yeah, I could flex right now and pull a top woman. I could buy a Lamborghini. I could buy a $40,000 watch. I could fly to Dubai. I could, you know what I mean? But real power is being disciplined enough to know I need to flex like that right now. I got it. I know that I got it. The world don't need to know I got it. That is true discipline, and that's to me one of the true characteristics of a man. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you, one person described it as being on a diet. And the more success you have, the more access you have. Because that's what money and your popularity can bring. Access to stuff that you didn't have before. And it's easy to get that gazoo head and be like, woohoo, I got money. And as the old people tell you, you get what you didn't expect, right? And all of a sudden now, you got access to women and things that you didn't have before. And it's easy to say, you know what, I want this and I want that, I want that, I want that, I want that. But you got to understand that you have to be disciplined. Otherwise, you are going to throw away the very things that would have put you in a position to have the access to the excess.
Yeah, well, yes. Yeah, man.
Right? So you have to be able to stay on the diet. Life is work.
Hard
Life is
work.
And you have to understand that you have to be on a diet. Whether that's a physical diet, in terms of what you eat, shoot, even in terms of your voices, being able to control those. Gentlemen, you will never find a voice more expensive than a woman. You'd be safer picking up smoking and gambling. So if you decide all of a sudden now you hit the super lotto and you got $5 or $6 million and you out there, you want floss and you got 2 or 3 women in front of roster, guess what? Your money is not going to last, right? So discipline, right? And when we come back, we're talking about integrity. My guy, he approached this woman to do work. And then quick so it shifted to something else, right? I don't know if we can get those back on screen again, Neil. I miss the screenshots. So we can see how this devolves so quickly into something else. Right. So yeah, she says, I'm not trying to do anything with you except the collab. My guy says, no problem. I collab directly with girls I date, no pressure though. Here's the challenge with that. You have women on the show every night almost. So you're saying to me then that you have propositioned those women on your show? And this is why somebody asked why we got to talk about this tonight. This is why we got to talk. Because a couple of weeks ago, I see Barry in the chat. Shout out Barry. Big up Barry.
Yeah, shout out Barry.
Barry made a statement that is eternally stuck in my craw. Right?
Not your craw, Derek.
In my craw. When he said, if he was a woman, he would have a gay friend for companionship and a vibrator for sex, right? And then he made the comment also that men are dangerous. And then we see a guy like this who has so many people following him doing something like this. You know what I mean? So she asks him, so if we aren't dating, you don't want to collab. Now here's the challenge with this. He hasn't asked her on a date yet. I don't know what dating means to you guys, but to me, dating is we go, we exchange, we get to know one another, that kind of thing. He hasn't done that. He hasn't initiated that. He has asked, but yeah, are you looking at an airplane on it? You know, we can go further because there's even more. So he says, no, don't mean to be an asshole, but we have plenty of women in Miami. She says, well, same, LOL. We have plenty of men here in California. So why would I fly out to Miami to date one who I know nothing about? And that is as valid a question as it gets. And here comes hubris, guys. Arrogance out the wazoo. And he says, simple. Attractive women are common. High value men are not. Attractive women are common. And then he goes on, he says, I'm just being honest and stand by it. I'm not collaborating with you unless we F. You have F'd a bunch of dudes I know and aren't special. This guy is really fantastic in terms of his pickup game, right? He goes on, you could have just said no and kept it moving, but you're clearly in your feelings, going through all that, and the rest of it's cut off. I can't really see the rest of that, right? Now, this is, I don't even know, because what she did, what the part that is up in the top right hand corner there, she conducted a poll. She conducted a poll on her IG story. Essentially, she blocked out his name, conducted a poll, and got her people on her IG to comment and say if he was out of line or if she was tripping. But you would know how the results of the poll came back. People thought that he was freaking right out. So she then turned and she showed him the results of the poll, right? My guy was saying, well, yeah, you don't really care about the poll, your feelings, blah, 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 blah. Here's the challenge with this, right? This guy sees nothing wrong with how he approached that woman. Because to him, relationships with women are transactional. Right? Laura, she's on my girl, Laura in the crank. Big up Laura, man. Good to see you. Good to see you, Laura. That's my girl. Yeah. So he's like, he sees relationships with women as transactional. So, hey, I have this, these resources, this money, whatever. You should check me because I have those things. So Natalia says, so see how he would have ended up hearing about the ancestry? Yeah, like there was no soft skills. There was no attempt to seduce, nothing. It was just like, well, yeah. Dion says, I feel she did this on purpose because she probably could have stopped this conversation a long time, but realized what she could do with this idiot. And that might be true, but I think part of it is her intent. She was looking at the forward she would have been able to get for her own platform.
No, right. So
and then I suspect she was a little bit taken aback. I don't think she was plotting and scheming at all. She might be doing that now, but I don't think she was plotting and scheming at all in terms of this interaction. I think she was genuinely taken aback by the fact that he would approach her like that, somebody that she doesn't know.
Right. So let me go back to what they were saying today, because I believe context is key, or rather not context, but I believe in both sides of the story, whether true or untrue. Y'all could whatever. He was saying that he was talking about the timestamps with everything that we just showed there. There are obviously more screenshots, and he obviously have more receipts and everything like that. And he was showing timestamps, and his what he was saying is that, you know, he shot his shot early on saying, you know, he's not doing anything platonic, LOL, whatever, no pressure. He's do stuff with women that he did. And then he was saying that she went on and sold their tribe threatening his business and everything that, which is again, suspect. But then he got because that goes on for a few hours and he doesn't respond, and then he responds like out of frustration, saying like, if you want to get a collab, you want F. He does take accountability and responsibility for that by saying that he shouldn't have done that. He did a mistake. But here's my thing, right? I'm gonna say it again, right, guys? Well, and gals too, because this really is just integrity. This is just decent human being, right? If you got no time and place. Am I telling y'all not to shoot shots? No, I'm not saying that. But you got no time and place. You cannot be unprofessional in any space, right? Whether you respect someone or don't respect someone, you have to know time and place. If your intent was just to shoot your shot and try to get at the woman or whatever, and you had no real interest in bringing her on the show ready for her value in that context, then it's best to leave her out, because you have something bigger at play. And this is very important for me, because I'm a man that I never understood why people we talk about body count matters. For men, it's like sport. We go out there, we try to conquer as many women as possible, and we feel some type of validity to our manhood. And it always baffles me, because I am not defined by the amount of people I sleep with, in my opinion. And therefore, my purpose is not to come on to the planet and have sex with every woman on the planet. That's not my role. That's not my goal. That's not my purpose. So if my purpose is to build a brand, and I have built a brand, and I am being successful, and I am being on point, of course you can get lonely. Of course you might want some sex, you might got desires, and you may not want to go out there and purchase sex directly. You don't want to be lying and scummy and tell women, oh, I love you, I want to be with you, this and that next. You can still know time and place. If you bring the woman on the platform, you have a discussion with her, you do the collab with her, and then you shoot your shot. I was thinking that after this, if you're not busy, we could go for dinner or whatever. I'm really interested in you. Or, I think we got a vibe. I really, wouldn't mind seeing you naked or whatever. The point is, you cannot just come in the DMs talking about business, and then within the same conversation, over the course of days, you said, I consider it pulling out your penis. You pull out your penis. You pulling out your penis. And it is very important for us to understand. And for us, a lot of people are not reaching the level of success or purpose within their purpose, because they are caught up in the trappings of success. You know what I mean? You get a little bit of success, and it's not only to do with men and women and sex and everything like that, but like buying stuff, discipline. Shoot, I struggle with discipline. Don't let me get on my pedestal and make it seem that I got all my ducks in a row and I'm the uber disciplined person, because let's be honest, I am not rich. No, if I do become rich, this is where integrity comes in. If you are rich, you gotta know when, how, and where. You cannot be out here just doing it as you feel like, because you are some type of G. You feel like you something. Cars don't make the man. Clothes don't make the man. You know what I mean? Like, so this was the high value man equivalent of a dick pic. Well, I don't even, and this is the thing, Tanisha. I don't necessarily think, shout out to you, or hope your children are well. I don't think, see, high value man for me is a man that is a man, which we covered earlier in the show. But when you add high value now, is that he has influence, whether it be financial influence, whether it be social influence, whether it be whatever influence he has. He can shape influence through his efforts. And being a man and having the integrity and the discipline and the certain principles that he has, along with the influence that he has, that makes him a high value man. That is how I see it. Because how many millionaires we know out there that are scumbags? Well, I don't know any, but there are a lot of millionaires out there that are scumbags. And there are a lot of poor people out there that are perfect human beings. So in my opinion, I think that, you gotta know who you are and what you're about, and you gotta be careful of the buzz terms that you use. You have to be very self-aware with who you are and what you bring to the table, right? Who are you? If you're a man, if you want to claim that title as a man, far less a high value man, you have to understand that that does not mean that I work hard, play harder. That I could get up on a G5 and I could drive a Bentley and I got the hottest woman, and that is not a man. You understand?
I see Tammy Cole. Shout out Tammy Cole.
Tammy
Tammy Cole, I haven't
Cole.
seen you in a while.
I
So,
don't know what she look like now, boy. Tammy Cole, she's on bread, man. I see you in
it's good to see
decades.
you in the place.
Uh-huh.
Tammy Cole says it calls the integrity of his platform into question. Now, that's another point I wanted to deal with tonight, right? It calls the integrity of his platform into question. You're talking about this whole he said it point blank. I am a high value man, right? High value men are rare, attractive women are not. He's a high value man, but you are
Wait. Sorry. Oh, I am so sorry, Derek. I apologize for that outburst. I don't know if you look in the chat or boys chat or group chat.
No.
But apparently there's an excerpt from the live stream where Fresh, who is Barbadian, they're saying that he's set for life. He pretty much owns Barbados. Yo, you got that stop the cap there for me?
Stop the cap.
Sorry, Derek. Sorry.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap. Stop the cap.
All right. I'll leave that where it is. Right?
Sorry. My sincerest apology, people. It's just, yeah.
Yeah, it calls the integrity of his platform into question. That particular comment is very, very strange because I wanted to say it. I really wanted to say that a lot of the flack that they are getting is coming to Myron, who is fit. Fresh is not getting any of the flack. And I wanted to say it to those of you in the chat. Watch your friends, watch your key.
Hey.
Right? I wanted to say that. But then this poor guy, this man, Fresh is actually Barbadian, right, guys? And yeah, they Fresh is Barbadian, unfortunately. He is an interesting character. And most of the stuff that has happened, because the guy, Myron, he is also allegedly impregnated an IG model or something like that. A woman who is, I'll just send you this one, Neil, so you could put this is her display picture on Twitter, right, guys? Just so you can have a bit of a Christian understanding of who this lady is.
A Christian understanding. I see what you did there.
He impregnated her allegedly, and he was trying to ask her to have a termination of said pregnancy. And her handle is Satanisha or something like that. And he impregnated this lady. Just put her thing on screen here so we can all have a read of that and see what it really says. We up?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah. So for those of you who are watching and who are listening, who can't really see the screen, but you're just listening to the sound of my voice, her Twitter handle says, "Christians keep moving. This is a heathen neighborhood." Christians keep moving. This is a heathen neighborhood. And apparently Mr. Gaines allegedly he impregnated this lady, and now he's kind of trying to get her to terminate the pregnancy, right? And
but to that point, and there's another thing, fellows. Men, if you are out here having unprotected sex with any and every woman and she gets pregnant, do not be going around them talking about come again abortion. If she has given you access to sex and you have had unprotected sex with her, in my opinion, she is signifying that whatever come out of this, we're going to deal with. If you going to be man enough, my mother tell me from before I had sex ever in my life, my mother tell me, if you're man enough to do man things, you are man enough to deal with the consequences. And dealing with the consequences, to me, is not getting an abortion unless you both agree that that is what you want. Again, if the woman says that's what she want, that's her choice, right? Y'all can make a decision and go forward from there. But men, do not be out here beating bear with no fear, right? And then when the woman pray, I ain't talking about like a one time in the heat of passion. Like talking about every time y'all hook up. This is you even bring the condoms. You ever buy condoms? You want a receipt for condoms? Nothing. You just out here knowing you going in raw. You pulling out thinking that you stop insane. Man, do not have unprotected sex unless you can deal with whatever come out of that. I ain't gonna say that again. And women. If you know, because when there's come and tell me agency over your parts, I can tell when it playing here. Screenshot this, video it, whatever. If the one come for me, let it come for me for saying this. But if you as a woman don't want that man to be the father of your child, if you have not seen or thought about him in that capacity, and you don't know if he will be a present father or an active father or a good father, and you don't know this man from Adam in that regard, implore him to wear protection.
Protect yourself too.
Protect yourself. Because when you let the man come inside you, or your man pull out or whatever, and you get pregnant, and the man turn out to be a dud, shout out clear, that is on you too. That's on you. Do not, there are so many methods by which you can protect yourself. So many methods. Kelly is here saying, you could abstain. All right, we know abstinence is a very hard thing. You know, everybody sexualize, everybody want peace, everybody want a little fun. The problem, there are condoms, plan Bs, there are female condoms, there are so many different things that if you become pregnant and you don't want to have an abortion, and you have a dad for a father, that on you too. Stop having unprotected sex with people you don't know anything about in the capacity of having a child with. When I had my child, I knew that that woman was a woman that would make a great mother. And that we could raise a child together. I could have a child when I was 18 though. It's so like,
Easy.
It don't take 30 seconds to have a child.
It doesn't.
So
two walk-ups on a squeeze pooch.
And a squeeze pooch. And you gone through the editors. You got a foolish child mother. I don't let you turn child mother or child father. Stop making stupid decisions, people. Because then at the end of the day, when you have a dad for a child father or a dad for a child mother, and you complaining to the men or the women, and you got the person up and down in court, and you want to use the child as leverage to influence the mother or the father, what you doing? What? You can met $5, met you idiot?
Here's the thing too, right? Now that you bring that up, Neil. Accountability, right? Let me give you 3 words. Own your shit.
Own
right?
it.
When you mess up, admit it, own it, right? Omar born writer. My brother, by the way.
Shout out.
He was
literal family of the podcast.
Yeah. He was the first guest we had, and he talked about managing crisis. And that was one of the first things he said he needed to do. If you made a mistake, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Sha'Carri got caught up with the weed, and she was kind of but then she wanted to excuse it. Oh yeah, my mother died or whatever. So that's why he did it. You did it.
You
Point
did it.
blank. Nobody put a gun to your head to go.
There's
do
no
it.
rule saying that when
Right.
you're mourning a loved one, you gotta smoke weed. That
Exactly.
is humble. I get.
And these guys are yet to own their culpability in the fiasco that's swirling around them right now. And
But hold on a minute. Hold on. Sorry to cross you there. They are taking a level of accountability, but to me, that accountability is very. What's the word? I want to use paper thin, I guess is the analogy I would use. Because it is one thing to take accountability for something. But then there's another, because anytime you follow anything with but, an apology with but, accountability
exactly,
with but.
you haven't accepted accountability for it. So it's a case where Anna Quinn, for example, instead of just saying, "Well, yeah, I reached out, I shot my shot, she wasn't about it, I messed up," it was a case of him saying, "Oh, but I shot my shot and I let go, and she came back at me or whatever." She came back at you because she was so stunned. That's a complete stranger, because in essence, that is what he was, a complete stranger, reached out to her on that level.
Well,
right?
it's the okie doke, because you come with business and then no sprinkling
Yeah,
the pleasure.
and now it's something else. Nina Unrated, another, she's an OnlyFans model, by the way. And apparently they reached out to her as well about being on the show, and because she's on OnlyFans, they wanted her to do some sexually explicit stuff
For the Patreon.
and she said nah, she wasn't about that. And then suddenly, magically, they were all booked up. I could find no time for her to do the show, to come on the show. So when they finally found some time, she said, nah, you can miss me with that.
They addressed that too. I mean, I listened to it today, and it was just like, I understand what you're saying, and I understand how you can. I don't want to say twist. I could see how they can make an excuse for it, but you're wrong.
Exactly.
You are wrong
So just
in
say,
even in your
that was my bad. I apologize. Whatever.
wrong.
These guys are yet to say those words. You know what I mean? They are yet to say.
No, they've said
my
it.
bad.
Well, right. They've said it.
Yeah.
They've kind of said it.
But when you say my bad and then say but,
Yeah.
as you said, Neil,
Yeah.
it gone through the others.
Because what it was yesterday on the live is them pretty much trying to debunk everything that's being brought up against them.
Exactly.
And in my mind, right, I was like,
the screenshot is undefeated. This screenshot is, we can see it right here for ourselves, how he interacted with a woman whom he reached out to. I mean, there was no, Fergie saying the accountability is thinly veiled. There's no accountability.
There's no accountability.
You can see through it.
And I feel,
they're in a veil. You can see straight through.
I know
there's no accountability.
I know we're going off on a tangent, but I gotta say this, Derek. Here's my thing, right? And I'm glad we're talking about this, because this I didn't want to talk to you personally about, but let's talk about it now. We have to understand that you gotta know when to defend yourself. You gotta know when to keep your mouth shut. I understand they needed to defend themselves. And they're getting dragged through the mud, they need to defend themselves, right? But I feel as though they devolved into the mudslinging, bringing receipts and, saying this and saying that, saying that. For me, because again, another YouTuber showed up for my podcast, he did say this, that at some point, everybody messes up, and at some point, there will be fallout. Shoot, we had a little fallout earlier in the game, because we brought out Ramel Miller. Everybody thought that we was condoning woman beating and all, or sexism and misogyny and all that, right? And in my opinion, the best way to defend yourself is to talk poignantly on the issue. If somebody, first things first, I can't imagine me or Derek sliding in the boy DMs like that here. But shoot, we talked about this early on. We ain't two men that slide in DMs, so anytime you see a screenshot with Neil Hoy or Derek Marshall proposition a woman and she DMs, that's Photoshop. I tell you straight no, because I don't do that. Well, I don't do that, right? But you have to understand that you have to know when to speak as MTR says, you gotta know when to react and when to respond. What I saw from them last night was reaction, guised in a response. Because my response in all of that, I would have said, I wouldn't have had the DMs. I would have come straight. I would have said, listen, and I sure the born Omar would have said the same thing. You know, we made some mistakes here. I should not have mixed business with pleasure with someone I did not know. I should not have been so brazen to think, yes, I shot my shot, but I thought it was appropriate. It was inappropriate for me to do that at that time. Same thing with Nina Unrated. Maybe our thought of her doing sexual things on our Patreon was not the best idea. And that's another thing too, man. You got a purpose. You got a game plan for the purpose, though. Your purpose can't be fame, fortune, and you can do anything for it, because that ties back into integrity. What I don't understand is if those may have a red pill space, why are they having a Patreon idea of having sex acts on? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing?
Because that is the mentality. These are I really don't want to get into attacking, anybody like that.
Nah.
I really don't. But again, I will say what I gotta say, and in the gentlest way possible, I guess. But let me not say gentle, because I will be as direct as I can be. I will temper my honesty with sensitivity. Let me put it that way.
Hey.
These come across as guys who are faking it till they make it, right? And they seem prepared to do that to the hilt. Shoot, if you got a guy saying that he set for life and owns part of Barbados or all of Barbados or some dog like that, he's saying that because nobody's checking him, right? He thinks that nobody is going to check. There's no call to account. There's no checks and balances.
But there is
So he can say that and get away with
2021.
it.
I can't. It's 2021, dog. They got Google.
But here's the thing, Neil. Here's the thing. As much as it's 2021 and you want to believe that people got a little bit more sense than that, people are a little bit more aware that the fellas who are following them
Very true.
probably aren't, because guess what? They put Anna Quinn's name on their live show and essentially said, look, this is the IG account, IG handle, go and deal with her if you need to. I know the woman ended up being harassed,
but
all
they did
kind of
say,
people in the woman DMs telling her to do all kind of things.
hold on, I will say this.
Kind of names.
I want to say later on in that same podcast, they did say don't go and harass a woman. So,
but here's the thing,
I'm just saying that for me, I just want to make sure that there is some level of transparency there. Like, yes, he did say that, but he also said don't harass. So you send a mixed message, because by the time you come back half hour later,
it's very clear.
Right.
The message is clear. You give the woman, you put the woman's IG handle in your chat. You called it out on air. You have handed the rabbits the gun. So what will you expect to happen here? They already got the information. How are you gonna pull it back now? How are you gonna pull it back now? They knew what was going to happen, and they sent their goons for the woman. They went, and then I watched some other shows. One of the guys that went in her DMs harassing her. He got invited to another show to defend the comments that he made.
He's a madman.
And he was essentially saying that these guys were the best thing that ever happened to him. As Tamiko is saying, there are persons who tend to defend these idiots and get offended when others call it their BS. And he went on the show, and he was essentially saying, "But yeah, these guys turned my life around to save my life." I think is the term he used. And they were the best thing that ever happened to him, because they encouraged him to, or told him how to invest or save money, some dog like that he was saying. So you got a case where there are people who will believe some of this stuff that these guys say. So when Fresh comes and says he owns Barbados, I really wish he would put some money in Barbados. That'd be awesome.
I'd never hear nor see about this man or his family yet, not in that spectrum. And on top of that, I am a man that believes first things first, right? Let's be honest. Let's I'm a logical thinker. Your name is Fresh. You know what? Don't let me do that. Scratch that. Scratch that. Scratch that. Scratch that. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, not ad hominem.
Right. I'm not gonna do that.
Not ad hominem.
Not gonna do that. What I will say is this, right? I will say that I understand fake it till you make it. I understand, you live the lifestyle till you get it. But there's an integrity you still have to make sure you don't cross. And that integrity is that fake it till you make it, but you still have to be a genuine, honest person. Fake it till you make it for me is making sure I take my last $1,000 and go buy an Armani suit. Take my last.
Claire saying she gotta go. See you later, Claire.
See you, Claire. See you later, Claire. Thanks for joining us.
Here, you're watching the Senate podcast on YouTube. So spread the word. Check it out. I think we're on Facebook as well. So check out the Senate podcast.
I want to saw that we on Facebook, but
we want to say so.
Right. But yeah, to me, it is fake it till you make it. For me, is you take in $2,000, your last $1,000. You take in $1,500 of that. $750 of that to clean up yourself, get a haircut, get a shave, buy a suit, live that lifestyle. Like you are educated, but that is a means to an end. Not fake it till you make it, as in telling outright lies, right? You have to be very, very careful. I find in these times, I was like this even before the internet. That's how old I am, before the internet. But no, in these times, you have to be very, very careful what you purport and say out there. Every week, Derek and I come here 2 times a week. We speak on matters and issues, right? And we've had some people behind the scenes question what makes us experts to talk about certain things, question failures that we have had or indiscretions that we have had in a means to discredit why we come here and what gives us the authority to speak on certain things. But that's the whole point. The whole point is Derek and I are not perfect. We are not perfect. We have never claimed to be perfect. Derek has been divorced. I have never been married. I've had a slew of failed relationships, right? There are other things in our life that can be considered by failure, by society standards, whatever. We're not going to get into that. But what I will say is this. I think the reason why, Derek, you could correct me if I'm wrong, we never had this conversation directly. But the reason why we come here every Tuesday and Thursday is because we believe we have a level of integrity and understanding and purpose with how we want to influence this space, particularly here in the Caribbean, particularly understanding that there's certain things not out there. And we come here every Tuesday, every Thursday. We tell you all our business. We put our hearts out there. We ensure that we say things from a space of experience and a space of lessons learned, right? What I will say is anytime you are listening to anyone, you challenge them. You challenge what they're bringing, what they're saying, everything. And I appreciate that. I encourage you all every week to challenge this. And I feel you should challenge anybody that is speaking anything that is not factual, right? But I would say look at the character of that person. Look at how they respond. Look at how they react. Look at how they speak. Look at what's important to them, how they carry themselves. And those things are very important. Derek and I, we are older men. We are not interested in the flash and the pageantry, and we're not looking out here for the Beyonce or Eva Mendes or Rihanna. Maybe they come to your door, but we're not actively trying to find women that look like that to say that, oh, look, we get the baddest women or whatever. No. We are at a stage of life where we understand, look, we got to step into our purpose. We got to make this money. We got to influence the spaces that we want to operate in, the fields that we want to operate in, and we have to create a legacy that is befitting of who we were as people whenever that day comes that we pass on. What I would say is do not fall in the trap of people that attain a level of success or have a mindset of material things, success, and fame is the end all and be all. You have to be wary. Yes, certain things you do will bring about a level of fame, fortune, notoriety. But it is what you do within those things and how you can manipulate those things to influence and better those around you is what I think is a high value man. Because you could buy a Lamborghini and a G5 and because I go in the supermarket and I got women that look amazing, rich women, poor women, just women that look good hitting on me. If I got a woman home, does it mean that I got text she up? No. That is an option, but I'm not exercising that option at this time because everything is good at home. I'm a committed man. I'm doing my thing. Derek doesn't believe in marriage. Well, not that he doesn't believe in marriage. Don't make it seem like it's the boogeyman for Derek. Derek is anti-marriage. I want to say I
I don't
am.
even say it's that, Neil. I don't want for me to be misinterpreted, right?
Okay.
Or some people say misinterpreted. I don't want to be saying that I am anti-marriage. I just don't think it's the best deal. Let me just pay that.
Right. So Derek says marriage is not the best deal. I see merit in marriage. Right. Having said that, Derek is not going to. I know Derek for many, many decades. Right. I cannot see Derek attaining a level of fame and fortune and out here treating women as he would like. I can't. I do not know that as Derek Marshall. Am I gonna put my head on the chopping block? No, because I only got one net. But I can.
Anything make it big, dog. God clear.
All right. Well, all I can tell you, yeah, gang. What I would say is for me, the only time and y'all could write this down too. There's a level of success I will attain that I will act a downfall, and that's if I got 4 abs. And if I got 4 abs, I can do the absolute greatest. I come in on here, shirtless, fat. So be very careful in how you move in this life, people. Move with integrity. Do not let the fame, fortune, and money make you do things that are not. I can't even say, the character, because that might be your character, but don't do things.
But here's the thing, right? Like, I love Colin Cowherd, right? Interestingly enough, Colin Cowherd is kind of like an inspiration to me, unbeknownst to a lot of people. He's like an inspiration to me in terms of how I come and do this podcast, kind of getting into this whole podcast thing.
Right.
Colin Cowherd was like a big influence on me.
Just for those of you, just explain who he is for those who don't know.
Yeah, he does a talk show called The Herd on Fox Sports, and he's very critical of some same people I'm critical of. So yeah, he's like a kindred spirit, but a really good guy in terms of how he delivers monologues and stuff like that, and finds the parallels between certain situations, right? And Colin Cowherd says money is like rocket fuel to the ego.
Hey.
So whomever a person is at their core, that is what that person will be, that to the nth power once they have money, fame, access to excess. That is what that person is going to become. So when we see Sha'Carri Richardson showboating a hot dog in and running her mouth and, talking a lot and bloviating and all that stuff, that is who she is at her core. But a little bit of money, some fame, some fortune, some access to excess, she has now become the person with the long blonde weave that we saw at the back of the race on Saturday.
That's right? Swearing in the post interview.
Yeah, that swearing in the post interview and hanging on to being the 6th fastest woman on earth when she just came none in a race. You know what I mean? Humility is undefeated, guys, right? There will humility will never go out of style,
Neither will karma.
right? Humility will never go out of style. And there is when you are humble, you take the target off your back. These guys have now put a target on their back and it is open season on them. Everybody is doing a podcast, a show, a stream on these guys.
Shoot, we doing one.
We didn't even want to talk about this week, but we had to. I figured it would be important to talk about this stuff and again draw the parallels between what we see in there playing out right before our eyes and what is happening now. Sha'Carri Richardson had a target on her back, and on Saturday it was open season on her. It was open season on her. Sometimes you just gotta shut your mouth. As you said, Neil, shut your mouth.
Just keep it quiet.
And do what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Be where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm. When you
As
achieve,
opposed to
sorry, go ahead.
running
Sorry.
your mouth when you haven't done anything. And I see that you want to preempt me a little bit, Neil. Achieve something, then talk.
Yep.
Then talk.
Yep.
Right?
And even then, to me personally, I have had. I mean, I know talk nothing at basketball or anything like that, but you've got good games and you do good moves and you score a lot of points or whatever. And there have been times where, you're feeling yourself on how you move and you say a little thing here and there and whatever within the context of the game and anything like that. But there are other times where, and Derek can tell me if I'm wrong, but for the most part, I don't really, if I play well, I play well. I ain't kind of there saying, cheese on, I'm the greatest man out here. I am the best player out here. Cheese on Brendan, when a man can't guard me. I might talk my foolishness or whatever, but I've never ever said, I am the best at this, or I'm the greatest at that, or when a man can't hold me, or you can't score upon me, or even in success, you can then show. Look at Usain Bolt. He's a perfect example. Usain Bolt does walk about like he's the best, but he don't say that he's the best. He don't brag and say, "Well, this man can't catch me," but because the world doesn't see
work.
The work in it. Show your work.
Show your work.
Fact.
Right? And here's the thing. It's funny, Neil, because I just looked in. I saw a comment from my guy Catlin, bigger AJ Catlin.
Shout out Catty Bond, Catman dude.
He won today. He won
Oh
today.
dear.
And he is on my Facebook parading because he won today.
Yeah. But you know, he ain't acting accustomed. See, so sorry.
Again, much like Myron and Fresh, he got what he was not accustomed to.
Right,
So
he ain't accustomed to that. So yeah.
I get it. I get it.
Shut up,
I
Cat.
know you, Catlin. I know you. You get this one.
Shut
right?
up, Cat.
But for me, last week or whenever it was, I spoke before and I spoke after, right? Michael Jordan, a real bad man, right? I don't know if you watched your last dance. I don't know who in the chat watched your last dance. If you watched your last dance, you could put some ones in the chat if you did, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there is the playoffs. Orlando, I think it was the Orlando Magic or the Charlotte Hornets. One, they told them they beat BJ Armstrong, had a big game.
Charlotte Hornets, yeah.
Charlotte Hornets. Right? Beat them in game one. BJ Armstrong, a former Chicago Bull, parading and getting all bad. Then they cut to the famous locker room scene. Michael Jordan, cigar in one hand,
bat in another,
baseball bat in the next. And all the guys in the locker room know, this guy is not pleased. So the man like, you all right? I say, yeah, you're talking a lot of shit. It's hard to talk a lot of shit when you up.
You gotta talk it from
It's
Laval.
a big man to talk shit when we start at even.
At Laval. 0-0. Mm-hmm.
And Michael Jordan put on a show. But guess what? Everybody knew the body of work. Everybody knew the body of work. Shoot, people to this day still know the body of work. So when Mike come and talk, he's talking for the position that, I am the baddest. Y'all can't beat me. We've seen you can't beat me. This is the position. Arnold Schwarzenegger, 7 straight Mr. Olympias. And at one point, he working out with everybody, preparing for the Olympia. Somebody said, when you're on top, somebody told him when you're on top, the only place is down. And Arnold said, or you can stay on top. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the body of work, has shown, yeah, I can run my mouth because I won.
And even then,
why you think Shelly Ann Fraser ain't getting a big law pace? Because hey, she was on top for a while. Is Elaine Thompson Harris chance? No. And guess what? She is not running her mouth saying, I am the greatest who ever lived, blah, blah, blah. But it's Elaine time, no.
And there's the thing too, Derek. Let me just add to that, is that even though you've achieved the level of success, Michael Jordan would talk crap to other players. These athletes would talk nonsense among players after they've achieved the level of success. But then, man, in public, when a mic in front of them, there is humility. Michael Jordan, to this day, will never say...
Even if it is feigned humility.
Jordan would never say in front of a hot mic saying that he is the greatest player of all time.
Yeah.
He may tell that to people he match up with, but that may be because he trying to get in their head or whatever. He might be saying, I'm the greatest right now. I'm the greatest man in this generation, right? Shelly could have said that, like, I was the greatest in a generation 10 years ago or 5 years ago. But today, you gotta know that's life, ebb and flow, ups and downs. You can be at the top of the mountain, and then you're not gonna be at the top of the mountain. But your body of work will cement your legacy, and you can stand up on your legacy and speak.
Correct. You gotta show your work. You gotta show your work. And poor Sha'Carri, you didn't have any work to show. These guys fresh and fit. Where's your work? Because you brought everybody on. You know what I mean? You brought everybody on. You bring Kevin Samuels, Donovan Sharp, Rollo Tomasi, all these artists,
rappers,
Tekashi 6ix9ine, all these people on your platform.
Academic.
And you're leveraging their fans and their fan base to come to your platform. Where's your work building your own fan base? You know what I mean? And then you hold on to subscriber numbers and you hold on to views. So I know you had to be shitting bricks in the past week when you saw that precipitous decline from 430 down to 380 something. You know what I mean? And
I want to also add to, I look at Fresh and Fit. I look at, I've watched their content. As I said, I was subscribed to them. And, they tout themselves as the #1 dating podcast on YouTube in the world. And I'll be honest, right? If I look at the length and breadth of their content, they do. I'm not saying they don't talk about dating. I'm not saying they don't talk about finance, fitness. I'm not saying that they don't have things in there that empower people, especially men. I'm not saying that they're doing nothing over there. But I feel like if you are really about influencing the space in a positive way, if you're about bringing about certain awareness and evolution in men, if you're looking to make women aware of how men think and how they operate in the dating sphere and how we see women in the dating sphere, right? If you're looking to empower men to be more financially prudent and flourish in that way, if you're promoting health as well, I feel as though certain things should not be smoke and mirrors. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be trying to get OnlyFans model to do sexual things on a Patreon. You should not be bringing women onto your show that are vapid at best and can't debate or articulate a sentence. Furthermore, match your intellect in talking on certain things. Like, to me, I wonder, not that I wonder, because I can assume, but I feel as though it is important for you to understand what you are looking to do. What is your goal? If their goal was to get a lot of subscribers, if their goal was to get a lot of views, if their goal was to make a lot of money, they have achieved that goal. For me, I don't know how you see it, Derek, but for me, my goal is not to make a lot of money. I feel like with my intellect and with certain things that I have going on, money can come. Once I get the opportunity and access to certain resources to get that happen, money will be hitting me in my face. Fame, same thing with money. That can come. I'm not looking for it, I'm not gonna bask in it. If it come, it come. If it don't come, it don't come. However, I understand that with certain levels of success, you will get certain levels of access. But that's not my goal. That is not my goal. Before we started all this there, and I said, look, here, tune, right? We realize enough men out here going through enough. I've got a lot of things going on. And people out here feel men are silent paragons of strength and underhandedness and just doing toxic things. We are disregarded, dismissed. We need a space where we can educate, inform, and downright tell people the perspective of men. And from the perspective of men, speak on women and certain things that they do to kind of stymie their success and stuff. We started a podcast. If in a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, we are millionaires, so be it. But that was not the goal. And because we have reached that level of success financially and in fame or whatever when that time comes, we are not going to all of a sudden, so we make it, Derek boy. We could come here and then decide we could do whatever content we want to do and, and make a turn up and, no. You got to stay on mission, stay on purpose, stay on task. And I think for me and Fresh and Fit, they say that they're on mission and they're on task and whatever. They're telling people that they're about the manosphere and they're about improving men and improving men's chances of getting women and stuff like that. But to what end? You get women to do what?
About making money.
Yeah. So people always stick on your purpose, operate with integrity, and operate with discipline. Be humble. Humility is very important in how you move in life. Even though a lot of you may know me in passing, a lot of people may know me personally, y'all cannot say that I'm not an arrogant person. People think that I'm an arrogant person, but those people don't know me. Anytime somebody say look standoffish or aloof or arrogant or anything like that, they don't know me. They see the tall man, pretty eyes, curly hair, see me driving a car and say, all right, well, yeah, he arrogant. Because I don't smile up. I don't friends up. I don't, I will tell you this, Derek. I was in the gym today. Had on a little outfit there, so I work out the muscles. I started to cast little shadows, and now I seeing certain levels of success. I took a picture in the gym, and I literally was going to post it, but I stopped. Y'all have never seen me post many full body gym pics. Y'all may see me post a little headshot in the gym or whatever, but y'all don't see me post it regularly. See Derek do it, some other friends of ours do it, right? And I'm not knocking that. But I am the type of person that I'm self-conscious about that because I have not achieved the success that I want. For me, when I got 6 abs, when I follow me on Facebook and Instagram. But I don't feel that I have reached that level that I feel as though I can show out or show off, right? I'm not saying that that's why other people do it. I'm not saying that's why Derek do it. I don't say that's why Mark, other people do it. I'm saying for me, when I post pictures of me in the gym, when I be like, cheese on, knee shirtless again, cheese on. This man don't wear clothes though.
Well, so, I don't know you wear all the way shirts so they get to that point.
I am buying a large shirt again, dog. I'm buying a large shirt again. I'm not buying a large shirt again.
But yeah, guys, you're watching the Senate podcast on Facebook and YouTube. Yeah, people, you got to be a bit more integrous in terms of your dealings with people. Keep your discipline and understand what the tent poles are that keep your life in order. In other words, understand the things that really matter. Mm-hmm. Don't get caught up in the trappings and you forget what gave you the access to the trappings. So you may want enough women, you want a big gold chain, pretty car, whatever the drink boat. And then you are neglecting the things that would have put you in a position to have access to these things. Mm-hmm. Nah, stay on your purpose. Stay on mission. That's what we talk about all the time. Stay on your purpose. Mm-hmm. Right? My girl Sha'Carri, if you stay on purpose, we will see you blow big flapping in the ring and no floor Jamaica making sport at you.
I ain't gonna lie to you, Derek. I was saying when she came last and all this backlash and stuff, I see, it'd be a perfect story if she comes back and wins gold. She beats Jamaica. I'm not saying I want her to beat Jamaica or not, but I love those types of stories where you face she talk what she mouth, she get what she get. I ain't saying whatever, but I'm saying this should be fuel for her to work harder and be more disciplined and
Yeah,
be
but
more on her purpose.
is that the person, the character we see coming
Well,
through?
yeah.
This will have to be a particularly humbling experience for that to really happen. And guys, the last point I want to make, because we are at the 10 o'clock hour.
Well,
again,
we
the last
start
point-
later, man. I mean, okay, yourself.
You gotta be careful the company you keep,
Mm.
right? You gotta be careful the company you keep
Mm.
because
Mm-mm.
at no point, as
I know
people
Jennifer.
will
She
say,
can't be Jamaicans. I just say.
Okay.
Mm.
the old people will tell you at some point, not one can tell the next come back. So you got a situation where Fresh doing his thing. Well, sorry, Myron doing his thing. And Fresh can't say, this ain't on, this ain't cool.
You say cricket.
Yeah. Contrary to that, he's actually kind of egging it on and be like, yeah, man, do your thing, man. Yeah, we get girls for free, We get all these girls. I mean, women are the most expensive vice you can have. And here's the thing, he ain't only got women as a vice because, again, they want to fake it till they make it. So, cars, jewelry.
You gotta keep up that lifestyle. Gotta keep up that lifestyle.
They're buying alcohol when the girls come to the room.
Mm-hmm.
Because they had an intruder. They had an intruder a couple of weeks ago.
No, a couple of weeks.
Or
That was
a couple
Sunday.
nights ago. They had an intruder, came to interrupted their live stream or whatever. And you could see the empty bottles of alcohol on the counter. You know what I mean? And that's another thing. When you are in that kind of position and you put yourself in a situation for people to talk about you, now you get clout chasers. So everybody coming out the woodwork. These interactions with these women happened in May. We in August.
In
They
June.
no surface.
Yep, they're coming out the
You know what I
woodwork.
mean? The guy that turned up at their place a couple of nights ago,
Yeah.
he left their situation. He was working with them. He left his situation in June. He pops up in August. Why? Because they're hot and they're trending.
Shoot
and
'em.
everybody trying to get some kind of clout off of them.
They might think that we trying to get clout.
Well, it might be, but we are using this situation
To
kind
educate,
of
inform.
point out certain things, right? Because the gossip is inconsequential. We didn't even give y'all all the nitty-gritty details of the stuff that went down because that stuff is inconsequential to the discussion we're having because it's about
Shout out
staying-
Sherall Leslie.
Raleigh's in the house all the way from
She-
I think it's Edmonton.
Oh, she's Canadian, eh?
Yeah.
She'll just come from my Zumba class night. Y'all always blessed to see this show on night, man. Oh Lord, warm my little heart.
Yeah, man. Happy to see you in the place, Raleigh's.
Nice to see you. Glad you're safe.
Yeah. So yeah, you got a situation now where all of these we are looking to use these talking points. It's not about the news itself, it's the talking points. Right? About being disciplined, integrous, protecting your fruits of your labor, protecting your investments, watching your circle, keeping the people in your circle, keeping good people in your circle to make sure that they can tell you whether you're not that. Because it makes no sense having yes men around you.
It don't make sense. Don't make sense.
Couple weeks ago, Neil came to our little live session, and he was having an interaction with somebody else. And when he asked for our opinion on it, the man was like, well, "Nah, Neil, you're wrong." You know what I mean?
It's true. It's so true.
Yeah, nobody felt any way about it. Neil didn't take it. Like if
I had to apologize because I took accountability for it.
Yeah, and that was the next thing. He immediately said, "Okay, well, that's my bad," and he apologized to the person. You know what I mean? Accountability. These are the talking points coming out of this, right? So, sure, if we could get extra 200 subscribers, subscribe to the Fresh and Fit podcast here on YouTube and Facebook. But if we could get extra 200 subscribers, sure, great. But that's not the important point. The important point is the talking points coming out of these situations. That is why we go into popular culture and bring the mainstream stuff to talk on Tuesday and Thursday night. So when somebody asks why we gotta talk about it, this is why we gotta
You
talk
gotta
about
talk
it.
about it, man, because you gotta understand, man. Like everything is a teachable lesson, and that's something that I've learned over the last 5 years. Everything in this life is a teachable moment, and you don't stop learning until you're dead. If you think that you know all and you don't need to learn no more, you have plateaued and you're doing yourself a disservice. Keep learning. I would say that Derek and I hold each other accountable on this show. Uh, we don't always agree. And I would like to believe that anytime any of us are going off message or feeling ourselves a bit too much or, you know, getting into a place that doesn't serve the purpose of this podcast, the other will kind of check them respectfully. I have no concern. The thing is, we talked about it behind the scenes. I don't have any concern with us kind of putting our foot in our mouth. And if we put our foot in our mouths, the other person will say, well, dog, you shouldn't have done that. And we will, whatever. So it is important um, to conduct yourself with a level of integrity, a level of honesty, a level of humility, a level of discipline, a level of morality, understanding what is right and wrong. We all know what is right and wrong. We may pretend we don't know. We may want to make justification for it, but in the end, we all know what is right and wrong. We know what serves us for the best of us, and we know what doesn't. And we know that if you attain a level of success, if you attain a level of fame, if you don't attain a level of whatever, you still have to move with a level of integrity. Shoot, they got car washers that got more integrity than millionaires. Better human beings than millionaires. Money don't
Van
make.
Man.
Van Man, shout out the Van Man out there that watch it.
Van Man.
Yeah, honk the horn for the man. Well, you shouldn't be on your road now anyhow. But yeah, the point is that you have to conduct yourself with a level of responsibility in whatever you attain, whether you have nothing or you have everything. How you conduct yourself is very important. And I already know how I can be when I got money. Shoot, I ain't gonna tell you that I ain't gonna floss a little bit and buy myself this and that next, but I ain't gonna walk out like a better than anybody else. I have never walked this earth feeling that I am better than anybody else. Never. I have never walked into a party, a line, anything like that, and looked at somebody and said, oh, I am better than him. Why? Because I'm human just like anybody else. There's this, was it, if you prick me, do I not bleed? Do you, was it?
I can't remember.
Right, but basically it's saying, I am
I
human.
know what you mean, but I can't remember.
Right, if you cut me, do I not bleed? If you tickle me, do I not laugh? If you slap me, do I not feel? I am human. You are human. We are all human. And yes, I understand the culture right now is to feel that we all, but Neil, no, Margaret Hoyt ain't raised you, so no, Margaret Hoyt. Shoot, I tell you, Margaret Hoyt humbled me early on in life, My mother taught me, my mother is a woman, I can tell this story. My mother is a woman that attained great success in her job. She's retired now. But those of you who know my mother was very prominent in a certain sector in Barbados and in business on a whole. Shoot, the woman come from nothing and attained a great deal of success in her line of work. And my mother is a woman that will come to work as whatever title she got, whatever car she driving, whatever money she making when the month come. My mother would take up a broom and sweep the area with which she worked. I ain't talking about her office. She would sweep the showroom in her business. And my mother said to me, she is no better than the janitor, because at the end of the day, as much as you got all its success, it could be taken away. And if you forget hard work and you forget where you come from and you believe that, oh, that person is to deal with that, and you not taking accountability for something, you're putting it on somebody else. The janitor, yes, is supposed to be responsible for cleaning the area, but at the end of the day, if somebody comes into the showroom and sees a dirty place and don't buy and it affects the business, it affects her paper. So it ain't take nothing for her to take up a broom and sweep or mop or, put up things. My mother always taught me, you are no better than anyone. You are no better than anyone.
This is why I love team sport, right, Neil?
Yes, sir.
Because it teaches you, sports teach you about life. And
Bots.
for example, we play a team sport, we play basketball, for example, it's 5-on-5.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, what I find is that you start the game, everybody we play 2-3 zones, so everybody guarding area. But as soon as the game get a little close and we getting like 15, 16, 17 all,
Man,
you hear man
defense.
to man. Because the thinking is we need to not be more accountable. But yeah, that's the thinking that we need to be more accountable. But really and truly, it is saying we need to know exactly who to cuss when this defense breaks down.
Who needs to be accountable?
Yeah, who needs to be accountable?
Mm-hmm.
And big up my guy Kurt, right? Kurt said something, he says a lot of stuff, but this is one thing he said that I found particularly interesting. Kurt said, it could be 2-3 zone, it could be 1-3-1 zone, box on one,
Could be
man to man straight up. It makes no difference if we don't put in any effort. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you still have to play defense. You have to play the effort. And it is one thing to say we playing man to man, but guess what? If your man scores at 18 and y'all get the 21st, Neil, it ain't just you that gonna sit down,
All the weekend sit down.
All 5 of we.
And I never understood that. Why all of we?
So
yeah.
It is a case where you have to be your brother's keeper on the court. You have to be your brother's keeper in a game. So we playing together, it'll be cricket, for example.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't want to, cricket is a little different because you got like ball in pairs, you're bat in pairs, as opposed to like you all 5 on a string kind of thing in basketball. But you still got to play for your teammate.
Yep.
You still got to play for your team.
Mm-hmm.
Right? As opposed to saying, but this is me. I don't really feel for nobody. I don't catch for nobody. I just ball is back. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't putting in the extra effort because that's my job.
And when you lose, you blaming others. You pointing fingers.
Not only that, we don't seem to recognize when we lose.
All
together.
You see, that's it always amazes me when you just go off on the side and men is crawl. I ain't gonna tell you that I never crawl up on the side after a loss because there are certain things that happen that used to be like, cheese on bread. How many times you need to hear that your man is coming to set a screen? How many times you need to hear that you need to box up? There's certain things that frustrate you. But by and large, I do not see the sense in us getting beat. I will come and more talk to you and say, look, next time, you're playing a zone or you're playing this is what you need to do or whatever. You educate, you teach or whatever. I see men curse and carry on, and that's something that is also part of integrity. That is also part of integrity because it is all fine and good for Derek and I to come here every Tuesday and Thursday, right? But then let's say Derek feels his way about marriage or whatever. I come and say it in a private forum to somebody else, Derek, like marriage, he ain't a good. He's do this and he's do that and he's do the next. That's not integrity. That's I can say this in front of Derek. Whatever I gotta say in front of Derek, I saw somebody else. I don't want the boy say, Tommy on your back. I am never throwing anybody under the bus. Because when you throw somebody under the bus, especially within the context of a team-based thing, me throwing Derek under the bus gonna affect me and Derek though. This podcast, birds of a feather, doves that fly with doves. No man is an island. We could get down shout out chocolate. You know what I'm saying? So by and large, you have to take accountability.
And I want you to look at the greater point here too, Neil, in terms of, as you say, throwing somebody under the bus. These guys threw the entire manosphere under the bus.
Oh, and that's the most despicable part of it. That is
Tamiko said, he did their channel, their platform. He brought the integrity of their platform into question. That's the words that Tamiko used, right?
That's why man like Derek
But
Jackson.
it's not only their platform, because we got a whole community of men trying to stay on brand and say the same things, and then you got these guys that's going rogue and doing what they want. You know what I mean? And then it brings everything else into question, into disrepute. I know you got a case where people looking at it saying, well, look, all of them move the same way. So that's what we talking about it for. So that's what we had to talk about it tonight.
Yeah, that pissed me off, man. Because at the end of the day, man, we all trying to think. I would say, I don't know if they can ever hear this, they can ever see this or whatever, but I would say to those guys, listen, y'all got the following. Y'all young, impetuous. Just be man about it. Men what's a man? A man don't sleep about. A man don't put he earn it everything. A man don't got cars. A man don't got jewelry or whatever. A man is a man first.
Breeding indiscriminately.
A man is a man first. Integrity, principles, morals. He stands upon his principle, who he is as a man, without the money, without the women, without anything. If the man is if the man is homeless, and he is on the side of the road, who is he? Because you got a different type of energy when you're homeless than when you're in a Lamborghini. I just saying that. So
and let me say to my guy Fresh too, as a Bajan, right?
As a Bajan boss.
Stop the cap.
You're making me shame. I know you got a pretty accent when Fresh for the podcast and things for you sure, right? But I know you understand every single word I say, as opposed to some of the people who might be watching for the international audience. So we can talk it to you straight. Stop making Bajan shame.
It's true.
Well, about talking a lot of shit when people you do when they come.
That is why
Barbados and all kind of things.
That is why I subscribe to the man, you know. When they found out that I was Barbadian, I was like, shoot, I was proud. I subscribe to the man same time, because as far as they concerned, I mean, I don't know the man. I see the man got a little bling and cars and whatever. I was just figuring, my man renting, buying or whatever he doing. I thought he was operating from a space of integrity as a fellow Barbadian man.
Above board. Jeez, bro, you got people looking at Bajan's funny big man.
Yeah. Yep. And you're making it doubly hard for me and Derek, because we're trying to make noise in space. And there's only me and Derek from Barbados.
And other YouTube creators saying that you from Barbados.
That's the thing.
You from Barbados.
Every time the man talk with the man, the man call his name.
And they can borrow some words because he's talking to you straight here, Fresh. So you know who's Arabar. Yeah, you can say it like that, Arabar. For you.
Mm-hmm.
You know who's Arabar. What is your mirror image? And what mirror image do you expect people to see from us? Don't misrepresent Bajans, man. You got me look shame for real.
Yeah. Jimmy helped me out with a quote here. He sent it. I love this chat. The man's keep me on pace. William Shakespeare.
We got to learn it, people.
I know it was William, but I didn't know what it was from. Merchant of Venice. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? Human beings. Thanks, Jimmy. But yeah, boys and girls, operate yourself with integrity. Men, stay on your purpose. Do not be bogged down in the trappings of life. They got so many distractions in 2021. So many distractions, and none of us are above them. We all succumb to them. Takes a very special. Victoria said it earlier. Discipline is like a muscle. You gotta work it. Not everybody has that discipline. It's very rare to have that discipline. That's why when you see people like Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. Shout out Kobe Bryant. Birthday was yesterday. Rest in peace, my brother. Cheese on bread. Lakers for life. Yeah. Right. Those guys that are maniacal at their craft, that achieve great levels of success, when you see their workout regime, and you see how they go about their thing, LeBron James, Usain Bolt, when you see these guys at the tip top, I know how you feel, but the guys at the tip top of their professions, right? The level of discipline they've had and sacrifice they've had to do to reach that level, to have that bragging right as being the best or one of the best. You have to have that level of discipline and sacrifice, and not all of us have it. Or readily can tap into that. But I'm saying you have to be understanding that there are trappings and distractions today in 2021. All over the place. Social media, it's easy to get caught up in. The women, it's easy to get caught up in surfing and scrolling the net. It's easy. I succumb to it. Derek succumbs to it. We all succumb to it. Right? But what we have to do is realize that you have to stay on brand and on purpose. Be trying to do it daily. Try to do it daily too. Yeah, don't get caught up and say, oh, me and Derek know all of a sudden we got 1,000 followers and we know feeling like, yeah, we shit don't stink. All of a sudden, no, you can't tell me nothing. Man coming up to me in the street and be like, yeah, just talk to my manager. I don't know, you know? Like, that will never be us. If we say you have to talk to our manager, it is because we have reached a level of protocol with an agency where you have to go through our management. If you hire a person to fulfill that role, the same thing with Derek. Derek has G-Syndicate. Derek had a manager, God rest her soul, Celeste. She was their manager, and I am Neil Hoy. I'm Derek's close friend, and I used to talk to Derek about certain things. Somebody got to talk to my manager, right? And I understand because I have operated in that space before, artist management, that sort of thing. You can't just be up saying, Derek, I want to do a deal, and Derek say, yeah, we could do this. It doesn't work like that, even if you by yourself or with a group. So, stay humble, stay disciplined, stay focused, stay on brand, stay on message, stay on purpose. Just be a good human being, yo. Just be a good, like, Winna Noah was a good human being. Women don't make the mind, cars don't make the mind, money don't make the mind. Integrity, discipline, morals, and principles, and enforcing those what makes a man.
Yeah, man, and amen, folks. We reached the 25 minute past 10 o'clock, and I think that is a good way to sign up tonight. You've been watching the Senate podcast on YouTube, apparently also on Facebook. You can send us your email suggestions on senateinsession@gmail.com. Also, you can check out our IG for the Senate Podcast 246 if you want to get a little joke, something to laugh at from a meme that we've posted. And also, you can share stuff with us on there as well. We don't mind. We interact when we can, when we see it. And we don't make any rules. We just make sure you know exactly what they are. Be the best version of you for you. And we will see you guys on Thursday.
Peace and love and be safe, boys and girls.
You can go so far, baby. I hope it lasts forever, baby.